Today's video has been sponsored by Bombas.
Potatoes are one of my favorite foods, and in fact, in my mind, one of the most amazing ingredients you could possibly work with. They're amazing, and they're so delicious, and they get crispy, and they're creamy. French fried potatoes, roasted potatoes, parsley potatoes, just like peeled, boiled, like creamy potatoes with butter and parsley. It's all so good. Baked potato, baked potato, baked potato.
How's it going, my peeps, and welcome back to the #1 Claire Saffitz fan club channel. In today's episode, we discuss our mutual love for potatoes, more specifically the loaded baked variety. They are almost always incredible, no matter what they're topped with. There wasn't a time I went to Wendy's as a child and didn't request a baked potato on the side of my meal. But I feel like we, as a collective, very rarely venture out when it comes to types of baked potatoes, and that ends today. We're gonna be pushing the limits of what it means to be a loaded baked potato, trying out 3 insanely viral versions from the internet that I myself single-handedly discovered and compiled for this video. Actually, this was all Steven's idea. Either way, let's get right into this one. From Tasty's breakfast potato to the loaded sweet potato, and even the seafood potato, no matter your interests, there's gonna be one for everybody here. And I think another thing that everybody will be able to love and get behind is the incredible mission of the good people over at Bombas. Just over a decade ago now, the founders over at Bombas learned that socks are the #1 most requested clothing item at homeless shelters. As a result, they set out to solve that problem and also created the world's most comfortable sock in the process. And I never thought I'd be doing this in one of these videos. Look at these beautiful things. The built-in arch supports, the lack of annoying toe seams up front. After just a handful of uses, these have quickly become my favorite socks I've ever owned. And easily, the greatest part of Bombas is, with your purchase, you feel amazing in more ways than one. Obviously, once you get this stuff on your body, but also by the fact that every item purchased means another one donated. And after just over a decade now, they've donated over 100 million items, which is incredible. They also just look really cool. I love the color schemes, all the little hexagonal shapes. Why do they smell so good? That's not guaranteed. But what is guaranteed is their 100% happiness guarantee. Whether you get a hole in one, or if Nala got a hold of one, they offer free returns and exchanges. So feel good and do good with Bombas, knowing your purchase does some real good in this world. Click that link in the top line of the description to go to bombas.com/David. Use my code David20 at checkout, and new customers get 20% off of their first purchase. To kick things off today, we are returning to the well, and going back to a video I remember seeing way back when in my past life. It's gonna be Tasty and their breakfast loaded baked potato. I grabbed some olive oil and fresh chives, sharp cheddar cheese, butter and bacon, some russet potatoes, a few eggs, and salt and pepper. I'm actually pretty floored that I never got around to this video from Tasty. Feels like something I absolutely would have tackled back in 2017. But better late than never, and it's just about as perfect of a baseline for a video like this as you're gonna get. I started by shredding up the cheddar cheese, thinly slicing some chives, cooking off my bacon, and then using that rendered down bacon fat, along with a little glug of olive oil to coat our potatoes and bake them off for about an hour. I probably should have started with the potatoes, as they take the longest by far. Now I gotta sit around here for an hour and try not to eat all the bacon and cheese I've shredded. I survived with only a few pinches of bacon and about 2 handfuls of the shredded cheese. But once the potatoes were cooked up, I lopped the tops off of them, hollowed them out a little bit, and then filled them on up with everything you've seen so far, and of course, a cracked egg. There's definitely nothing earth-shattering here, or groundbreaking. It's just something that seems kind of simple, but you wonder how you've never thought of it. Pretty much what most of Tasty's video catalog consists of. But after the egg was cooked up, and I finished it with some of those fresh chives, this was looking fairly good. It smelled very good, so let's start this up. Alright, Tasty, kick us off strong in what's probably gonna be a very long and spuddy day. Shout out Spudman on TikTok and all his beans. Can we get a nice little oozy cross section? Oh yeah. Is that egg cooked all the way through? I like a runny yolk, but it's close. This is delicious. I'd be thrilled to wake up and eat one of these for any morning breakfast. They actually kind of remind me of those potato skins from Fridays, those frozen ones. I feel like my mom made those a lot growing up. But this is salty, it's eggy, it's a little boring. I kind of want more going on, but I do think it was a pretty good place to start. Next up today is something I am very excited for. It's actually what sparked this video idea when Steven sent it over my way. Maybe I should try to snag him to taste test this with me. From the user June and Tonic over on YouTube, they are these fully loaded Korean sweet potatoes. I grabbed Kewpie mayo and pickled jalapenos and mushrooms, sour cream and salt and pepper, kimchi and mozzarella cheese, an onion, some sweet potatoes, gochujang, butter, and scallions. So why do I say I'm so excited for this one? Oh, let's count the reasons. For starters, I make this combo of mayo and gochujang probably weekly and put it on everything from pizza to sandwiches to burgers. It is incredible. But I also am obsessed with caramelized onions, as you guys know. Whenever I have to make some for a video, I am very tempted to make them in bulk and do like 10 onions worth, so I always have them stocked up in the fridge. But I'm not gonna do that today. I'm just making what I need here. And then, right in that same pan, I cooked off some chopped up kimchi, I'm assuming to concentrate the flavors a little bit and make it a little less watery. And then we are on over to the sweet potato, where we have to wrap them up and bake them. And it's hitting me that I, once again, should have started with this. But at least that, and the final preparation of it, gives me time to rant about my love for these guys. They're so good, and I feel like they're so underutilized. The majority of the time I saw them growing up was in some kind of casserole with marshmallows on top, but I don't need anything else with them. Just cube them up, roast them off in a very hot oven with some olive oil, whatever herbs you have on hand. They are so good. And to finish this version, it got plenty of the onions and kimchi, some of those chopped up mushrooms and jalapenos, drizzling of our two sauces, and yes. So what you're saying is you acknowledge you are invited to be in, to taste, but you refuse.
I wouldn't say refuse.
You decline.
I think I'm gonna pass.
Well, I'm glad that we can show the people that you were not disbarred from the channel.
What do you mean?
I've been filming this whole thing.
What?
I almost don't want to eat this. It looks so good. I love the colors, even though I got nothing on what that original one looked like. That man was tweezing that thing to hell, but it was worth it. As for this one, not too bad. As excited as I was to try this, I was still a little bit cautious. I feel like there's a lot of potentially clashing flavors and textures. It works. Nothing in particular sticks out. I was imagining like warm kimchi and mozzarella cheese and even like spicy pickled things. I don't know. It's just not ingredients I've combined before. Look at that orange too. Orange is my favorite color, if some of you didn't know. I don't know why I ended up with so much blue. But this is absolutely delicious. I've been sitting here trying to think of a complaint or somehow it could be improved, and I can't. I love everything on here, and I just love sweet potatoes. And lastly today is what appears to be the king of all loaded baked potatoes. It's probably similar to something I would have eventually dreamt up. From smoking and grilling with AB, it is the loaded seafood baked potato. I grabbed some shrimp and chicken stock, heavy cream, Creole seasoning, and olive oil, some cheddar cheese and flaky salt, butter, lump crab meat and bacon, some Dijon mustard, and some of our Parmesan wheel, a giant russet potato, a lemon, garlic, and fresh parsley. Now the reason I say this is something along the lines of what I would have came up with is mostly due to my recent obsession with seafood, specifically crab meat. I don't know what it is. I've just been on a canned lump crab meat obsession. But we're not cracking today's can open until the very end of this procedure. I started by coating another potato in olive oil and salt and just baking it. I didn't feel the need to show you because the real exciting part of this one is this cream sauce. Let's begin. The base of this one is some more bacon, and do not remove a drip of that bacon fat because right in there we're adding some butter, some of the Creole seasoning, all of the little shrimps, just until they are cooked through, at which point you can pull those babies out and then layer in all of our other gorgeous stuff. From the garlic cloves to the chicken stock and heavy cream and mustard, allow all this stuff to reduce down, get super flavorful, thicken up, especially with that Parmesan cheese, allow everything to really permeate the cream and the stock. Already, I could give AB all the props in the world for the workflow of this recipe and the lack of dishes and pots. You know, you don't have to boil shrimp in one pot, roast bacon in the oven in another, get 15 million different things dirty. Everything is built right in this single pan. There was a little bit of prep work as far as like chopping the fresh parsley, shredding some of the cheese, but that's still nothing compared to so many of the recipes we've done throughout the years, so I already have very high hopes for this one. It also thickened beautifully, surprisingly fast. I'm assuming that's due to all the cheese in there finally melting, all the crab meat we add kind of sucking up some of that liquid. So ease of workflow and kitchen aftermath, this one already gets a check. Appearance, once that sauce is loaded in that potato, finished off with the bacon, that's a big fat green check as well. As far as the taste, I am tripping over my own feet to find out. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but goddamn, that is a loaded baked potato. Look at that perfectly crispy, salty skin. I love potato skin too. I don't know how people don't eat it. I probably say this a little too frequently, but it definitely reigns true. I can barely speak because the saliva is pouring out of my mouth. This is one of the best things I've ever eaten. Almost definitively the best thing I've made this year so far. As I said, this is a perfectly baked potato with that crispy, salty skin. The potato itself is amazing. It is light and fluffy, perfectly cooked, but that sauce, holy crap, is it amazing. It's as good of a cream sauce as a cream sauce can possibly be. The depth of flavor going on here, all that fond we built up in the pan, with the bacon, and then the shrimp, and the garlic, then with the mustard, and the lemon, and the crab, it is perfectly balanced. I still can barely speak. I'm about to shed a tear. This is so good. This thing embodies what I mean when I say I want really deep, complex, like poppy flavors. Short of saving those shrimp shells and then toasting those off in the butter and the bacon fat, there's no flavor lost here. Everything is concentrated and retained in that damn sauce. All the kudos in the world to AB. I don't know if he fully created this, if this was inspired by something else, but man, I've been testing recipes for a long time now and I'm blown away.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my 18. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision.